Hello friends and welcome to another video. Today I've got a bit of a tutorial for you about how to make a really cheap traveler's notebook cover. You only need a couple of things. Now first thing I've got is my cutting equipment, which is my craft mat, my metal ruler and my knife. I've got some elastic. I picked up this purple stuff from the $2 shop in a little packet, and this is just some flat weave elastic that I've had left over from a previous craft experiment. And the most important piece is this placemat. So this is a placemat that I picked up for about $1 or $1.50 at either Kmart or Target, I don't remember which. And so it's double-sided, so it's not just vinyl fabric. It's been bonded together. Of course you could probably just buy vinyl fabric and bond it both sides if that's what you want. This is a nice neutral grey colour, so let's get started. The first thing you need to do is decide what size notebook you want. Now you're going to have some restrictions with this as to size. For example, this is a B6 size, and you could get a B6 out of it, but you won't get an A5 out of it. So B6 with this one is as large as you could go. But I think I'm going to make a pocket size or a field note size. So this is my Mist Lily Pocket Traveler's Notebook that I love. So I'm going to make it the same size as this. Okay, now I'm going to do this in a lead pencil so that I don't damage the vinyl or my notebook. Okay, now I'm not sure if you can really see that in the camera, but rest assured I can see it here. It is, oh there we go, it's just the lighting, there we go. So I've traced that out. So that's fine. Next thing I want to do is I want to fold it in half. And get something of a crease mark happening. Now this is also the time where I'm going to think about my holes. Do I want a single string or double strings or triple strings? I like having at least double strings, so that's what I'm going to do here. You're going to need something very sharp and very pointy to get holes into this. Of course, you can absolutely go ahead and use your knife if you're comfortable. I happen to have a little bookmaker's awl that I also use when I'm making my traveler's notebook inserts, so I can sew them together. So now that I've got my rough half mark, just for a couple of examples, when you're putting in holes for your traveler's notebook, you have to keep in mind two things. One, it can't be so close to the edge that it's going to rip through, and it can't be so far away from the edge that it's going to be too short for your, oops, let's move this, too short for your notebooks to sit in comfortably. You don't want them back here, so the elastic's got to come up and go over. You want it sort of about sitting about at the top and bottom, if not just a little bit in, so there's some grip and some hold. my tool and punch through. It's really not terribly difficult. I also need a hole dead center for the wraparound elastic. So far this is looking alright. Now I need my elastic. I'm going to use the purple because it's purple. But the flat weave will absolutely work as well. I just like purple. If you have a somewhat thick needle, it will make this process a lot easier. I happen to have one. And you're going to start from the inside to go to the outside. Take it across the top. Now, if I was not putting eyelets in this later, then I could actually fit another hole in the middle and do a third string. Which, let's face it, I might do again anyway. Oops. Do not cut your elastic before you're done stringing, because the tension of your elastic will determine how long it needs to be. I've got way too much in here. Don't pull it too tight because you don't want your traveler's notebook to sit like this. You want to have enough in it so it lays flat easily without having no tension in here at all. So I'm quite happy with that small amount of lift. So I go to this side now and I tie a square knot or a reef knot depending on who taught you. And see, I've got that little bit of lift, but that's okay because as soon as I put a book in there it'll straighten out. And this is when you cut off your elastic. Nice and easy, plenty of room. Okay, now the middle one. So it's the same thing except you're just going out and then back in the exact same hole. Just be careful not to pull it all the way out. Now this too is going to depend on tension. So what I'm just going to stick one of my dashboards in just so I have an idea of what it's going to be like when it's closed. You don't want it too floppy. You also don't want it nipping in the edges. When it's empty, you want it to be comfortable and relaxed. You don't want to be putting any stress on your material because the more stuff you put in it, the tighter it's going to get naturally anyway. So that looks pretty good. It's got a little bit of pinch there, but nothing too extreme. And then I would just come in here and put a nice big knot in that. Having said that, something a little fancy you can do with an offcut. I'm going to cut a 2 by 1 inch piece. Because just because it was inexpensive to make doesn't mean it needs to look cheap. Now if you've got fancy scissors or anything else that's, you know, cute, or you feel like sitting down and taking the time to choose scallops, by all means go ahead. And then I'm just going to eyeball this one. I'm not terribly worried. So this is what we call a nameplate. I don't know why it's called a nameplate, because your name's not on it. When I come out here, I'm going to thread it through this, back through that, and then back in. And I'll show you what this does. This is just a nice little touch. It's some people use it to hook their pens on. I just think it looks pretty. I like having nameplates. I don't have them on all my things, but I do think they look good. And what happens, and again you could put eyelets in this too if you wanted, is it actually protects the side when you've got it closed. So it actually protects the side of the thing. So now I just want to get this taut without being tight. It's a fine line, my friends, it's a fine line. So I can fix that later. That's pretty good. I think once I've got a few things in that, that'll sit beautifully. I'm just trying to get a nice big chunky knot as close to the base of this as possible, because the last thing you want is having it come undone. So I'm doing a double. The second time I'm just taking it in underneath that first one. Trimming off the ends. So there you go. For $2.50 you've got a brand spanking new pocket-sized traveler's notebook. It is not going to break the bank, so give it a go. Also, it's a good way to see if traveler's notebooks are the way for you to go. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. It's certainly a budget one. Please comment, like and subscribe down below. Check out my Instagram. Don't forget to click the little bell icon so you get notifications of new videos, and I will see you next time. Bye!